Take out your cells from the incubator and make sure that they have reached confluency. For the purpose of this experiment, they weren't confluent, but we will proceed. And these are JB6 cells. And then first, you want to aspirate the media that the cells were in. And then we're going to be adding PBS, about 7 milliliters. When you're adding PBS, make sure you do it in one spot and then you release slowly so that the cells don't lift, because you're going to be aspirating the PBS out. And once you've added your PBS, you're going to be aspirating that out too. And then the next step is to add trypsin, which works to lift up the cells. You're going to add 0.5 milliliters of it. And then you're going to incubate it for about 3 to 4 minutes in the incubator. So set up an alarm. Once the cells are incubated for 3 to 4 minutes in trypsin, we want to take it out, and then we want to check under the microscope to see if they are lifted. And then we also want to gently tap them on a hard surface so that we can try to lift them more. And when you check under the microscope, it would be floating like a snow globe, and those are the cells. And then under the hood again, you want to add about 4 milliliters of JB6 growth media, not agar media, growth media. And then just pipette up and down, trying to have more cells lift. So we're trying to physically remove the cells that are stuck to the bottom of the plate. And then we're just gonna move them to a 15 milliliter test tube. Now we have a cassette, and we put the cassette in a machine that reads how many cells are in a certain volume. So for this step, we need the 15 microliter pipette, and then we're just gonna vortex the cells. When working with cells, you always want to vortex it before you use it so that they're evenly distributed. So we're gonna get the 15 microliters of the cell solution and then put it in the cassette. And then we're gonna head over to the machine that's going to be reading how many cells there are. And this reads how many cells there are in 1 milliliter. Okay, so the top is the really confusing part. So we have a test tube of 0.66% agar, and we have the test tube with the cells, right? And then so in a new test tube, which is going to be the one that we're going to be using as the top layer, that will have a final concentration of 0.33% agar, includes a ratio of 1 and 1 of this. Okay. So in the protocol, it says we want to have 20,000 cells per 1 mil. But since it's going to be diluted, we want to do double the amount, and we want 40%, 40,000 cells per milliliter. So that if this goes inside here, it will be diluted to 20,000 cells per mil. Okay, and then now we want to see, so the cell count was 5.56 times 10 to the 4 per 1 mil. We want to see how much of that has 40,000 cells. Equals X. So you do this, multiply here, and multiply here, and then you get X equals 0.719 mil. So 0.719 mil of the cell we have will equal to 40,000 cells. And then the rest, you want to add the cell growth media. Cell growth media, okay? Always vortex the cells before using, and you want to get 720 microliters of the cell solution and then put it into each 15 ml test tubes to control the EGF and then the EGF plus carvedilol. And you also want to add 280 microliters of the growth media, so that in that 1 milliliter you will have 40,000 cells. And since the total volume will be 2 milliliters and it will be 1-to-1 ratio with the 0.66% agar and the cells, and we have the 1 mil of the cells already inside, we want to take out the 0.66% agar and place 1 mil of it into each of the 15 mil test tubes, so that the final concentration will be 0.33% agar, and it will have the cells inside too. Now we're just gonna vortex the cells again before we place them in the reservoir, and then we're gonna be doing the same thing first by checking that the bottom layer has solidified, and then we're gonna be putting 100 microliters of each of the top layers into their appropriate. So the control will be with the control, the EGF with the EGF, and then the EGF plus carvedilol with EGF plus carvedilol. 잠깐만. And once you're done with everything, you are completed with the soft agar experiment. And you just have to let the top layer solidify as well before you place them back into the incubator. And we just check every day under the microscope to see any colony formation. Thank you.